Hello, this is FurryMurray7, and this is my review of the Plantronics GameCom 780. I'm going to be covering the price, some features that it has, and I'm even going to do a little microphone test at the end of this video. Now remember that this is not the first review video I've ever done. If you click that little icon in the upper right hand corner of the screen, it'll take you to another review video where I reviewed another headset that was much cheaper than this one. You can also get there by clicking the link down below in the description. You can also click those little timestamps in the description so you can skip ahead to whichever part of this video you want to see. And while you're down there, I would appreciate if you click the like button before you forget. And make sure you click the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. So, without further ado, here is the review, and thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoy it. So the price of the GameCom 780 ranges from high to low depending on where you shop. If you buy one directly from the Plantronics website, you can pick up a GameCom 780 for about $80 US. However, you can go to Amazon.com and pick up a brand new one that is eligible for Amazon Prime for about $60 US. And also on Amazon, you can pick up used ones that are even cheaper than that. You can get them for $40 or $50 if you can get a used one. The point is that the price of this thing fluctuates all the time. I personally paid $70 for mine. I also bought it on Amazon. That was about 6 months prior to making this video. Keep in mind that some stores also have sales, so you might be able to get it for cheaper than this. The price is likely to go down a little bit over time, so by the time you're watching this video, the price might have gone down astronomically. That's how it usually is with technology. It starts out expensive, but then gets cheaper and cheaper as time goes on. If you go directly to the Plantronics website, you can actually click a link on the button that says where to buy, and it'll bring up all the different retailers and sellers, places that you can buy this thing from. I buy most of my stuff from Amazon, simply because they have really good shipping and return policies, but it's all personal preference. They're mostly going to be within the $60 to $80 range. So this is a nice and simple headphone, both to wear and to use. There is a toggle switch on the back of the headset for the microphone. You can toggle the microphone on, or you can press down on the switch to mute the microphone at any time. There is a volume control also next to that switch, and in front of the microphone on the left side of the earpiece there is the button to turn the Dolby Boost on and off. The microphone itself is flexible, slightly flexible. It's not made of Laffy Taffy, but it's flexible enough to be able to move slightly away from and toward your mouth, so you can bend the microphone slightly. It's not super bendy, but it gets the job done. You can also swivel the microphone, up and down as you need to. The headphones can be extended. The extension only goes up to about an inch. It doesn't extend super far, so if you have like a really tall cone head, this might be a little uncomfortable for you to wear, but it shouldn't be too bad. The ear pads are pretty wide. They're not super wide, but they should be wide enough to cover most people's ears. It covers my ears fairly well. It just touches the edges of my ears slightly, but it's really not very uncomfortable because the ear pads are really, really soft and velvety soft. Velvety smooth. The ear pads can actually be replaced. You can actually take the ear pads off easily, and then you can replace them. You can buy replacement ear pads from the Plantronics store, directly from the website, and I don't think they're only about $5. I think you can get them on Amazon as well. But the thing about the ear pads and also that pad on the top of the headset that you see right there, all three of those pads are velvety smooth, and they're really soft and kind of fuzzy, and they do catch the dust. If these headphones are sitting out for a while, they will catch dust, unless you, I don't know, wrap them in plastic or something. It only takes a couple of weeks for enough dust to get on them, so it looks a little disgusting. You're gonna have to get the dust off if you plan on keeping these headsets for an extended period of time. It's really easy to do. You can just take a vacuum cleaner, and you just use a vacuum cleaner attachment, and with the brush on it, and just brush as you vacuum, and it should get it right off. You can also use lint rollers. Me personally, I'm pretty old school. You get a piece of duct tape, tear off a roll of duct tape, and use the duct tape to get the lint off, and it works fairly well for me. It doesn't do any permanent damage, and it works just like new. But you do have to watch out for that. They will get dusty if they are sitting out, so you will have to watch out for that. As far as the sound quality goes, I am very impressed with both the audio quality of the headphones and the sound quality of the microphone. And both of them are pretty good. Of course, you can adjust things like volume, and there's even some options for the headphone audio. I'll talk a little bit about that later in the next section, but they are pretty good. Altogether, as far as the features go, it's pretty good. Pretty good for the price, and it's not really complicated. It doesn't have a whole bunch of complicated buttons and switches on it, but it has everything you need. It's simple to use, and I really like them. The headphone comes with a disc that has the driver information and has the software and all that stuff on it. After you install it, there will be a small headphone icon in the system tray on your screen, and whenever the Dolby toggle button that I mentioned earlier is pressed, then this icon will light on and off, indicating that the Dolby is enabled. When you click that link, it brings up the GameCom options box, which, as you can see, has very, very, very few options on it. The only thing you can do in the software is to turn the Dolby Boost on or off and switch between game, movie mode, and music mode. For those of you who are looking for a headphone that has a lot of options and stuff like that, this does not have very much configurable options. You can't even control the microphone volume from here. You have to press the button that says Sound Control Panel, and then you can click on Recording Devices, and it'll let you change the microphone volume from there, from the control panel, from your Windows control panel. It was a little lacking. I was surprised by how lacking the software interface actually was for this headset. But the sound quality sounds good enough. It would have been nice to be able to fiddle with options and see what would have happened, just like with the previous headset that I reviewed. But this headset sounds good enough as it is, and the microphone quality is good enough as it is. I've never really had a desire to fiddle with any options because it's just that good. But some of you who are more advanced in that type of area, some of you may feel a little bit hindered by the fact that you don't have very many options to tinker with. Now, the options that are available is to turn the Dolby Boost on and off, and to switch between gaming, movie mode, and music mode. Those modes can only be switched when the Dolby is enabled. Now, about this Dolby Boost thing, it sounds absolutely amazing. I love it. I really don't see any need to turn it off. It's usually always on. It's on when I'm playing games, it's on when I'm listening to music, it's on even when I'm watching some YouTube videos. On certain YouTube videos, I turn the Dolby off because it tends to make this kind of echoing sound when people talk. But the Dolby thing is really cool. It sort of makes the sound more fuller and more 3D, I should say. It gives it a more full sound, gives it a little bit better bass, and hard to describe, but it makes it sound so much better. I can't really, I never turn it off. I can't really see any need why anyone would want to turn it off, unless, of course, you're listening to audio commentary in which it sometimes makes the audio, makes people's voices echo a little bit, so that can get a little bit annoying on some YouTube videos, but for the most part, I always keep this Dolby enabled checkbox on. Now, as far as these two, gaming movie mode and music mode, I can't hear any difference between those two. I have tried I've tried switching between the two modes while playing video games, while listening to music, while watching movies, and there's no difference between any of them. It's not coming out on my speakers at all. Maybe I just have, I don't know, bad set of headphones, or maybe that's the way it is. I don't know why, but for some reason the switching between those two modes does absolutely nothing. I can tell zero difference between those two. You guys might be able to tell the difference if you're experts in the field of soundology, but I'm no expert, but I can't hear a difference at all in between those two modes. So there's really nothing much I can say on that. As much as I do love these headphones, I am disappointed in the lack of options in the software. At least it would have been nice to have an indicator of when your mic is muted versus when your mic is unmuted, because there have been times when I've tried recording entire videos, and turned out my mic was muted the whole time, so I got to do it all over again. I guess it's pretty easy to check for that, but sometimes I forget whether my mic is muted or not. So an on-screen display, at least on the software, would be a little bit of help, but it's fine. It's really not a big complaint that I have. This is a USB headset, which means that you'll need to plug it into the USB port of your computer, and then you'll have to install the software. This headset comes with a disc that has the drivers and the software and all that other information. You need to run that disc and install the stuff before you're able to use the headset. I learned this the hard way when after I first built my first PC, and then I was previously using this headset on my laptop. So I just unplugged it from my laptop and plugged it into the PC, and it didn't work. And I remembered that I needed to get the disc to download the drivers and all that stuff so that my computer can recognize the headset and microphone and use it properly. Because without the drivers, it was a mess. And so that is the reason why this thing doesn't work with consoles. The consoles, like the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, I think the next gen consoles as well. I don't actually have an Xbox One or a PS4, but I'm pretty sure it works the same way. They cannot download the drivers. They can't download the software and the interface software and the manuals and all that stuff that comes with it. They just can't do all that. So you can try to plug this into the USB port of console, but I feel you will be deeply disappointed. I tried plugging this into my PS3 and it was a mess. The sound was absolutely awful. The microphone barely worked at all. And there was this really loud buzzing sound. It was really, really terrible. And without the drivers, the consoles can't properly process this information. So if you're looking for a headset that works with a console, you're going to have to get an analog headset. One that doesn't have a USB port. Some headsets have converters that you can plug into the USB and it converts it into an analog, or an analog that converts into USB. You're going to have to use one of those. I know that the headset that comes with the consoles, those are analog headsets. They don't have a USB plug on them, they have an analog plug. You can plug it directly in the controller or something, and that's what allows you to talk over Xbox Live or whatever. USB headsets aren't going to work with that. They just work with computers. So, just in case any of you makes a comment on this video asking me if this is going to work on a console, then that is proof that you did not pay attention. I'm going to direct you to this portion of the video because that's just the sad truth. Consoles just can't download the necessary drivers for this device. I love this headset. I absolutely love it. I like it better than any other headsets that I've had so far. I use this headset for everything. Personally, I use it for everything. I use it for... I actually don't have speakers hooked up to my PC. I built my PC a couple months before this video, and I didn't get around to buying any speakers for it. But, so I just... My plan was just to use this headset until I got around to getting speakers, and I never got around to it. The headset is that good. The headset is that good. I use this for... I mean, it's great for video games. Something will happen off to the side, and based on the sound, it's pretty easy for me to pinpoint which direction the sound came from because of the surround features in it. The Dolby. I always, again, like I said earlier, I always have that Dolby Boost enabled, and it makes it sound amazing. And the microphone too sounds awesome. All of my videos so far up for the last 6 months have been recorded using this headset, the microphone on this headset. The microphone quality, I'm satisfied with the microphone quality. It picks up my voice pretty clearly, and most people don't have a problem understanding what I'm saying and stuff like that. It's fully compatible with Windows. I use it Windows 8.1 64-bit, and I've never had any problems with it. And it works with all the programs that use microphones, the recording programs and editing programs and stuff like that. I've never had any problems with that. The only downsides to this thing, I would say, is that the lack of options in the software. There's not very many options to change things around, fine-tune the sound quality or the microphone quality. Even the Sage $25 headset that I did a review on last time, they had a very extensive options menu to tweak around with the options in there, and this has almost nothing. And that's, I don't know, I guess I'm not sure what to. I'm not sure what else to expect. I mean, it's a $80 headset. It has good features in other areas, and I guess they didn't have very much software budget. So the software is a little lacking, but everything else is absolutely amazing. And so I think for the price, this headset is worth it. So far it hasn't broken, but I haven't tried to sit on it or anything to test how strong it is. But it seems like a pretty good headset. It hasn't broken. I've had it for a little over 6 months now, and nothing's happened to it. And I haven't even had to replace the ear pads. I've just cleaned them off whenever they got too dusty. So it's lasted quite a while, and the quality is still the same. The quality hasn't degraded over time or anything like that. So it's a pretty good quality headset, and I think it's worth it, especially if you do YouTube videos. The microphone is actually pretty cool. Pretty useful microphone. It's probably not the best microphone on the market. It does pick up other things, like I have a computer. My computer is running in the background. The fans are whizzing like crazy, and this microphone is currently picking it up a little bit. So you can probably hear that. I turn on the fan or the air conditioner, and you can hear it a little bit in the background, but not very much. So overall, I'm satisfied with the quality. It's good enough. 。 And here is the part of the video where I will do the microphone test. This is where I will show you what the microphone sounds like using different microphone settings. Now, the problem with this is there are no different microphone settings in the Plantronics software. The only way I can adjust the microphone is to adjust the microphone volume in my operating system's control panel. So, that's what I'm going to do. I am going to show you what the microphone sounds like using different volume levels. I am not going to activate any of the enhancements, as you can see here. These enhancements are just part of the operating system. They don't have anything to do with the Plantronics software, and so I'm really not going to do that. Of course, there are certain things you can do to make your voice sound better over the microphone. You can use special recording programs like, for example, Audacity. Audacity is a free sound recording program, and there are actually a lot of options there that you can use to make your voice sound a little bit better. Ways you can tinker around with the sound and stuff like that. I'm not going to use that. I'm just going to use the very basic program. It's actually the recording feature on my video editor, but it uses the same software as Windows Sound Recorder. So it's the most basic experience you can get. And also, I'm not recording this in a special place. I'm not in a soundproof room or in a studio or anything like that. It's just me in my bedroom, like normal, like the way I always record. And I'm going to do this test. So this is going to be a very basic, very common, like, this is what most people will do. Most people don't have, soundproof studios to record in. This is more than likely what the average person will be able to expect when they use this microphone. So just keep that in mind. I'm not using any special enhancements, any special programs to record, and so there are other ways to improve the sound quality after recording, that you can tinker around with the sound, things like that. So and that concludes the video. The video will end after the microphone test. So thank you very much for watching. Make sure you please click the like button before you forget. Click the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, and make sure you leave a comment below this video if you have any questions or comments, or if you also have one of these headsets and you think that I missed something. Make sure that you leave a comment down below this video, and make sure you look down in the description and check out my other games as well. I do lots of games. I have games on Batman Arkham Knight, Halo Wars, Bioshock Infinite, Fable Anniversary. I have just about everything on my channel. So make sure you check out my channel, check out my videos, and thank you very much for watching.
Plantronics GameCom 780, Volume 25. Plantronics GameCom 780, Volume 50. Plantronics GameCom 780, Volume 75. Plantronics GameCom 780, Volume 100.